Hello!
Hello!
We're back, and this time, because we're reading to play some one-shots in D&D version 1, the original D&D, so I would like to go through the biggest changes between the version and see how we evolved or devolved from version 1 to the version 5.5 that we have now, or 5 that we're playing, at least. So, starting with the biggest change that blew my mind, in the very first version, halflings were called hobbits.
That makes sense. I mean, after Tolkien's world and what followed later.
But this
Makes
version
sense.
does not exist anymore. So the only version that exists legally now that you can buy is the third reprint of the first version. If I remember well, it's called the Mentzer Rules. Let me see my notes. Yes, the Mentzer Rules. And the thing that blew my mind actually was not that. It was that halfling is a class, not a race. Actually, there are not races or species, as they call them in the new one.
And what are they?
Classes. I mean, there are 7 classes. There is the fighter,
Yes.
cleric,
Yes.
magic user,
Yes.
thief,
Yes.
dwarf, elf, halfling.
Does that mean maybe... Would that mean that their class is bound to that race?
No, you cannot be an elf thief.
No. I mean that an elf is bound to what elves do.
Yes. The elf has specific traits. It's a little bit of a magic user, but a low magic user.
So it's a race/class.
It's a class for them, okay? It's the human fighter, the human cleric, the human thief, the human magic user, and the elf, the halfling, and the dwarf. That's it in the first version.
All right. You mean there is no divergent path for any other race?
No.
Exactly.
You are an elf, you are the elf, and you do that the elves do only. I think it's completely inspired by Tolkien's work, too much.
Yeah, because in Tolkien's world,
The
elves were singing and they had the powers they had from...
and the dwarves, all the dwarves were
gods.
fighters with bulky
The
bodies
dwarves
and
were,
dark gold.
They were creatures of the earth, so
Yeah.
they were doing stuff for the earth.
So, continuing that, after this first shock, the second shock was the alignment. There was only one linear alignment,
Yes.
chaotic, neutral, lawful. There was no evil good axis to have the...
What if it was... So there was... I always thought it was good, neutral, evil. Not lawful, neutral.
This is the
chaotic.
other axe that you're saying.
So that came afterwards.
Yeah, in the second edition.
Okay, this is odd,
In
but
the first edition there was only one.
also understandable if you take the medieval times that sometimes we have in fantasy. You abide by the rules or not.
Yep, that is it. And this was just a 3 alignment system and soon it became 9 in the later versions.
Yes.
So the armor class. The armor class starts from 9.
In general.
Yeah. 9 means that you don't have armor at all.
Oh,
And
okay.
it goes down.
How?
The smaller it is, the better you are.
What?
0, in 0 you wear the super duper armor, super chain mail, I don't know, plate mail, whatever.
Shouldn't that be
And
inverted?
then if you that was the system then. And
Okay.
then if you have negative numbers, you have magical buffs, magical armor. Goes even lower. -1, -2.
Okay. It's a little bit confusing after the system we're using right now.
Yes. Also, most weapons, I think almost all weapons actually, were 1d6 damage. There was not like 1d4 for daggers, 1d8 for the other, for the...
1d6.
1d6 for all weapons.
Simple. And
And not so good.
effective.
Not so good.
Not so good?
Yeah, because, like a 2-handed weapon makes sense to make more damage than a 1-handed weapon. It makes sense to do more damage than a small dagger. No.
Not if you were missing
In any case, I think it's better. Other issue, especially the thief skills,
Yes.
were in a percentage. So you were using the D100, which in the new version you see it's almost never used.
Yeah, it's never
In
used.
the first version you used a lot because you had
Percentage.
chance. You had chance. I mean, the DM told you have a 63% chance to do it.
So you had to
So
have
you were
anything
all-
from 63 to and up. Or what? Anything above 63 percentage.
No, you have a 63% chance to do it. You have 63 and below. If it tells you you need at least 63,
Mm-hmm.
because if you have a 70% chance to do something, then you have 70 out of 100. So you
Okay.
need to roll lower than 70 to succeed.
Oh, I see.
Also, the magic users, there were only two, as I mentioned, clerics and magic users. They were not yet called wizards and things like that. Clerics got their spells from meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Magic users got their spells from reading books, like the sorcerer, like the wizards
Yeah,
in the new
wizards.
version. Because we have also the sorcerers, we have the warlocks. In the new version, we have a lot of differentiation of the magic user,
Yeah.
which get their spells in completely different ways. And when you cast a spell, you forget it in this version.
That really is bonkers. Why? Why do you forget it, and how
Because
do you
the
forget it?
idea was that it comes inside you, and when you say, the magic comes out of you. That was the idea.
Yes, and then it's done. It's gone.
Yes.
In
Because
the wind.
let's say in the 5 version, the fifth version, the 5e, you prepare your spells
Yes.
like in the first version,
Yes.
but you can do them as many times as possible.
Yes.
So if you're
Because
high level,
you're using the mana system.
let's say you prepare 6 spells, you can do 6 level 1 spells, or you can do the level 1 spell 6 times.
Okay. Yes.
In the first version, every spell you prepare can only be done once, so you must be very careful. You must be very sure that this is the spell that you want to do, because you will not have it until the next long rest.
Damn.
And that brings me to the other thing.
That no wonder sometimes people would get in arguments if the cleric, for example, would not heal them.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah. But as I wanted to say, that brings me to the other point that I wanted to make. And this point was that in this version, you die a lot and very easily, as you found out when we played the one shot, the Night of Newt.
well, we didn't die that easily, but we died. Yes.
Yes, because we were very, I was very. If I played this as it was meant to be played in the book,
We did it by the first room.
Yeah, by the spiders in the first room. But I just fudged. No, I did not fudge the dice actually. I fudged the.
You nerfed the monsters.
No. How I changed how vicious the spiders were.
Ah.
I mean, they were supposed to hunt you much more than. Because I did not want to die in the first 10 minutes because I had never played such an adventure before.
But come to think of it, maybe that's why they have this the whole idea of the cursed dice. Because when we were playing, I could never have a very good die. So
Like-
I would die a lot.
That's another thing. Yeah, luck plays a very big role. And in the first version, it was more like a brutal fantasy reconstruction, let's say.
Realistic simulation of
Yeah,
a fantasy
Yes,
setting.
adventure, yeah, because in the 5th edition, you cannot die that easily. You have those 3 death rolls that are very easy to. I mean, the possibility is very large that you will live. Even as a level 1, you can withstand a lot of things. You can kill a lot of enemies. I mean, in the first version, you could just die from 2 goblins. It's like Final Fantasy 1.
To be fair, it is a bit though like, the way that we have evolved in our world,
Mm-hmm.
and some things are easier for us.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's how they do. That's how they do it in D&D as well. I mean, the older versions are like you sneezed, you died.
Yes, because okay, my experience with the second version, the AD&D, this is what we were playing with the people when I was a young person. But back then, I mean, it's completely different how we play now the fifth. I mean, now we just go in the dungeon.
And we're adventurers already,
Yeah,
and
we're
we know
heroes,
what we're doing.
we're tough,
doing, yes.
we're very tough.
Yeah,
I mean, it's almost impossible to die from a goblin in the fifth edition.
yeah, that is true.
But back then, you were like, in every room, in every step, you were like, I search for traps. I search for doors.
Ah, yeah.
I search for secrets. I search for more traps.
Yeah,
I also search for traps because he might lose a trap.
yeah. I remember how stereotypical it had become. By the time I knew what D&D was, there were already memes about it. So yeah, because it was much older.
Yeah,
So I would never understand it because when I started playing, 4th edition was already coming up, and I would never understand that whole idea. What I'm searching for traps. Oh my god, this is a gazebo, no, run! I mean, what was up with that? Mimics. The answer is always mimics.
Yeah, but it was not so brutal. I mean, in the first edition, you were very fragile.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You were a squishy human.
And many dungeons, like the one we played, even if it was AD&D, the Night of Newt, the idea was that you will take it with your friends, you will play with, the characters were more, how can I say this, not recyclable,
Expendable.
expendable, yeah, they were very expendable. You were meant to make a character
And die.
and die. I mean, you play with your friends, the Night of Newt. You start an adventure, you die from the spiders. Now you know, you make new characters, and this is also in the first edition rulebook, this is also advised at some point.
Oh.
But don't worry, you will go again with a new character and you will play. I mean, the adventures were made so tough also, like the arcade games in the arcades in the 80s, that you were playing with your quarters again and again. It was the same. You were expected to replay the dungeon a lot of times with new characters every time because the characters were expendable, and that was a very bad thing in my opinion. The only very bad thing with this edition.
I think it would be bad if the DM is not that good. I mean, I would think that the DM is like a writer. So if the DM would play the whole death into the story of the new character, that would probably be really, really, really interesting and would make replayability much more interesting and much more, it would be much more acceptable. It's not just a simple you died. You could have a new adventure going in, and then you suddenly see a corpse and maybe a journal next to him, and you see the backstory, whatever that backstory was. And maybe you have rumors in the town about that person that was a good fella and went inside and never came back. And
yes, I agree with you, but this is relevant to what I'm saying about being fragile. This is about doing a good story.
Yeah, but
this can happen in every version of D&D.
Yes, but a good story makes you want to play more, even if you die. That's what I meant.
Yes, and for example, I will go back to the Night of Newt because we have not played the other ones. I don't want to spoil them because we will play the other ones too.
Yes.
The Night of Newt, for example, you have the mystery of what happened to the castle. So you can replay the adventure if you're intrigued. You can replay it until you find the secret, which was that the castle was cursed because some greedy person made a pact with an evil wizard, blah blah blah.
Because of course.
An evil Newt wizard, and he brought the cursed orb, and that made the castle what it is.
Yeah,
now.
I remember it was something weird. There was weird stuff going on, but you weren't supposed to know. So yeah. I could deduct that.
Yeah, so you were interested, you could make new characters with the other person, Argis and Maria, and we could play again the same adventure, but you could go further this time because you knew what you expect until the point that you
Yeah. Oh, we search for traps here and we careful here.
And then you die.
We do not engage. We die in the next room and then we try again.
For example, I remember there was a lock which I nerfed it a lot because it had some kind of acid protection, and if you missed unlocking it, it would melt you with acid, something like that. And I said, nope, I'm not doing that. So I put that out completely. Something like that. It was not exactly like that. But
fragile humancies.
Yeah, it was very brutal, but also, I don't know, it had its own charms, I think. This brutality, this I'm not a superhero.
It made you more creative. I think that's what it comes down to. Because I remember my first D&D game.
Fourth or fifth it was.
It was. I think it was fourth, but I'm not sure. But I think it was fourth. I remember I was very creative with my inventory, and now with the way we're playing with our DMs and
okay, this also has to do with
I don't even think about what I have in my inventory, which is kind of frustrating because I forget, and I don't like forgetting that much because I usually forget in my real life, so I don't like it.
Look, if you play hardcore, even the fifth has survival rules.
Yeah, that is true.
If you activate them, hunger rules, thirst rules, how much your light goes.
So I think the difference is, what you mean is that the main difference is that you have the option to opt out of those.
Which reminds me, sorry,
yes.
You're right, but reminds me another big difference that I forgot to say from my notes, how much the term's duration is.
Yes.
In the new D&D, I haven't put this down. But
each person has their initiative, right?
No, I mean how much the duration is supposed to last. I remember that in the 5th edition it's 6 seconds per turn.
Okay, yes.
In the first it was like 1 minute.
1 minute?
And the exploration turn, not the combat turn.
You had an exploration turn?
Yeah.
What?
It was 10 minutes. I'll tell you why. Because in the first edition, like in Final Fantasy 1, which was very inspired.
Yeah. Definitely.
Every 2 turns, every 20 minutes, not real time 20 minutes, 20 minutes of game time, the DM is supposed to roll for wandering monsters.
Oh!
Random encounters.
Random encounters.
Then it was called wandering monsters. So every 2 turns, so you were doing things, and where the DM calculated around 20 minutes of doing things, he was supposed to roll for wandering monsters.
And if he rolled the right,
one or two,
the right die, yeah.
Which we will not do, by the way, in our adventure. I'm telling you now, I don't like the wandering master rule. I find it very frustrating in Final Fantasy 1, and 2, they find it very frustrating in D&D.
It is frustrating because...
I mean, it's good. It's good, don't get me wrong, sorry. Continue the...
Yes.
I will say it, continue.
No, I mean, it is frustrating, I understand. That's what I wanted to say.
It's good when you are, for example, in the camp of the spiders, in the nest of the spiders.
Oh.
It makes sense to roll for wandering spiders.
Because they
but just to, like it said in the original D&D, like roll for a snake or for a centipede or for a rat.
But those are...
Those can kill you in the first edition.
Yeah, but they make sense.
Yeah, they make sense. You don't have to exhaust yourself like that. I mean, it was already, the first edition was very battle heavy. Even in the dungeons, the DM's rulebook, it says that our game is battle focused with a little bit of exploration between the battles.
Oh.
It was too much of a dungeon crawl. Much more than that was. Yeah, it was Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
It was not so much story based. I mean, there was story in the dungeons, like you said.
Yeah, but I can understand why. I can understand why. I mean, if it makes you have so many survival skills and try to be so very resourceful with your survival, it makes sense that you would try to make you resourceful with how you throw your dice and how you try to fight and use your spells. So that way you would go and you would want to do more battle.
Yes. Yes, I agree. But the game, I think it has evolved good.
You're a writer.
It's a very good evolution that you can do stories. The game is focused more on the story now.
Yeah. As I said, you can. The good thing with the new edition is that you can opt out. You can still do the hardcore things, but you can also opt out.
Well, homebrew,
Which is good.
In homebrew, you could always opt out of everything. I mean, we were playing the second edition with the other guys that we were playing back then 30 years ago. 27, 26 years ago.
I'm talking about official here.
Okay, official then, yeah, but I mean that the homebrew we were playing, we had customized the rules so that we were enjoying the game because we wanted to enjoy. I mean, these guys that I was playing with did not want to. They wanted some story, but what they wanted more, they were riches. I mean,
They wanted
loot and stuff. So I was multiplying the loot, so they were
Yeah.
happy. I mean, we were playing normally the battles, but the loot was higher. Also, because they want to be kings, we used the kingdom rule set.
Yeah,
Because
you showed me that.
this is one of the things that has devolved. They don't like it. I have missed that. The siege rules and the kingdom rules. I mean,
You
there
could
was
be a king.
a whole rule. Yeah, you could be a king, and there was a whole chapter in the book about random encounters for a kingdom, about taxes, about revolt from the peasants, about I don't know, the chance of courtesans trying to stab you in the back.
Do you know what I remember now?
No?
In various Final Fantasy titles, that some kings would join you. Remember?
Yes.
Some
yes,
kings
yes.
would join your party. And that would make so much sense if you. I mean, I'm a noble. Yeah, that makes sense now.
And that's all I had notes, all my notes from the big difference that I saw between the first version and the one we're playing.
Yeah, first is medieval era and then we have the Renaissance era.
Yes, yes. In the first you die easily and young.
And then you die not so easily, but also young.
And there was
Still
also
young.
one from the DnD because I don't know how it was in the original. Speaking of which, yeah, sorry, I forgot, before we said goodbye. There was a very bad and money-grabbing technique that they had in the first edition. The red books that you were getting, the basic rules, were only for levels 1 to 3.
So it wasn't based on stories and modules and just that.
No, it was. But I mean, the rules.
They also had.
Now you get a DM book and the player's handbook book.
Yes.
Then you were getting the basic DM and basic player handbook,
For 1 to 3.
which are the ones I bought now. And there were also the blue ones, which were 4 to 14. And there were the master, that was the expert. There was the master ones with an M that were 15 to 24. And
What were those? Like
this is
for
what
godhood levels?
I don't know. I don't know if it was pure greedy monetization, or if it was because the game was still evolving and they were writing as they went.
I would go towards the second.
Because in the original versions, you went from level 1 to 36. And in 36, you were becoming an immortal god. Which is something that I really miss in the new versions. In the new versions, you just go to level 20 and you become nothing.
You become next to God.
I mean, in the second edition, not the first, the second edition for me was the best of the old ones.
Okay.
Maybe even better than the 3.5.
Why?
And maybe you will kill me for this. Because also in the second edition, apart from the kingdom rules, the siege rules, the naval battle rules, all these things, you had a purpose in your game, which was lacking in the first edition.
Alright.
When you go to the 9th level, you got a name level. You're getting a title because you were starting to be known in the kingdom.
Yes.
There was also a level that you were getting a house. I don't remember now which one it was.
Yeah, okay, I understand that.
And when you were going close to 36, you were close to becoming a god. By then you could do astral travel. You had you were supposed to get at level 35 a grand quest that will grant you immortality. It was a really epic journey from being a nobody that you can die from a mouse in level 1. Just a single rat can kill you in level 1.
Yeah.
And you would go all the way
To God.
to God. In the new edition, you go from being a level 1
Someone.
hero,
Someone. An
to a
adventurer.
level 20 nothing.
Another someone that is level 10, 20.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm sorry, I prefer the old version of this one.
You know, that is a lot. That reminds me a lot of how MMORPGs are now. When you started playing MMORPGs, the first games, they were very grand, and yes, they were very difficult and brutal, but when you reached the highest level, you were at the top and you were legendary, you had a legendary status, you defeated the great boss, etc. And then, as MMORPGs became more popular, we suddenly had the PvP servers. Everyone was already level 20. You were just someone else, another guy, level 20, level 50, whatever.
Yeah, that's a private server, you mean. We were just to kill each other.
Just to kill each other. And, or afterwards, the servers wanted more people, so they just pumped up the experience, how much experience you're getting.
This is what I was doing with my friends, that I was giving them more gold, because gold was XP back then.
So you were getting more experience and you were leveling faster, so really faster. So everyone was, first 2 hours you were already level 40.
Okay, yeah. We're not that bad when I was at the end back then, but yeah, we were leveling fast. But it made people happy. I mean, you play to be happy, you don't play to be miserable.
That is true.
I mean, people who are happy by doing the whole, who are happy by playing with the hardcore rules, with thirst and hunger and all that, yeah, that's good for them. But there are also people who don't want to starve when they play their fantasy game. They don't want the DM to tell them, oh, you died from hunger deep in the dungeon. I'm sorry.
I mean, we live in Greece. It's not very nice to think about that.
Okay, that escalated quickly. So, goodbye from us.
Bye!
Obviously, you have played the first edition or the second. What do you think? How it compares to the fifth? We've got 5.5, whatever we're playing now.
Like, subscribe, comment below.
Yeah.